Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. What is up, and welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault with you live on YouTube and Twitter, replay on Sports Grid. Late night, all you late night owls. We have a lot to get to on the show. After we left the show yesterday, seismic sports betting news that we will get to right here at the top. But before anything, how are you, sir? You had a late night last night.
Fired up, ready to go. Late night, yes. The Bet Bash is here, and there's a lot of people in town. There's more people coming. Last night, flights delayed. They still made it. Flights were pushed back to today.
Wow.
There will be the end late arriving crew, like the crew that comes in for our second hour every day. I don't know when, why, how, where they come from, but they come. Everybody's here, Perrault. Everybody was asking. They're like, hey, man, I like what you guys are doing with that BVB. How do I get on?
Oh,
You talk to Matt or I. When do you guys start every day? I said around 10-ish Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern-ish. Today we're a little bit late, longer on the ish. And they said, what are you guys doing for football season?
Oh, I wonder.
I said, oh,
I wonder.
Funny you asked. I said, why don't you watch the show tomorrow and the next day? And then we got to talk about Roll Call Friday. We might have to move the time of the show again on Friday because I got to go do that panel on Friday.
What time's the panel?
So, well, Billy Walters' panel starts at noon. Got to be there at 11.
Do it early. Yeah, we'll do it first thing in the morning.
So we'll do it early. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it early because I got approved. They're gonna let me in. I get to watch you and Billy and everybody else on Friday.
Oh God.
So
yeah.
They gave me the permission slip to show up on Friday. So I'll be good. I'll be good there. Just before we get into the sports betting thing, can I rant for a second?
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Yes, let's.
I'm really sorry. Just buckle up because I need to get something off my chest because I'm really mad because you're a father of 3 girls. I'm the father of a 9-year-old in this town. And your kids are driving, this town is not a great place to drive. Okay.
Oh no.
The traffic is horrible.
Yes.
People drink 24 hours a day. People are on drugs. People are crazy. We have the highest insurance rates in the country for the state of Nevada for this very reason. I should know. I just changed my insurance this morning. So I went through the whole damn process this morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. August 9th. You said you were going to do that. Good
really
job,
fun. That was really fun. So I got that done this morning, first thing in the morning, to be on calls and negotiating, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then I get the story. We're doing the Raiders today. Former Raider Henry Ruggs has been sitting in house arrest for almost 3 years, waiting on a sentencing that came down this morning for Henry Ruggs. Let me remind you.
What does that say? 3 to 10 years?
Let me remind you what this asshole did. Okay.
Here we go, Will.
This guy went to Topgolf, in which he drank so much alcohol that his blood alcohol level was fucking double what you're supposed to be behind the wheel.
Whew.
He got behind the wheel and drove on roads that you and I and most people who live here in Las Vegas drive 40 miles per hour on. 40 miles per hour. Speed limit.
That's the speed limit.
40. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, this asshole drove 156 miles per hour. A woman was coming home from work.
Late night.
She had been working. I believe she was working at a local, I think it was either a Walgreens or a Walmart, one of the two. I apologize for not knowing the exact place that she was working. She had her dog in the car with her. Henry Ruggs was driving so fast that he was only able to drop 40 miles per hour off of his speed, and he hit the woman going over 100 miles per hour. She didn't have time to look up. She was dead on impact. Henry Ruggs walked away with nothing but a couple of scratches. His neck was bothered a little bit. He was arraigned in a neck brace. That's about it. Henry Ruggs got 3 to 10 years today because of a plea agreement that he came to with the state, because when they drew his blood at the hospital, there was some concerns that they didn't have the right paperwork.
Oh boy.
Their
paperwork.
They didn't think they had the warrant to pull the blood from this imbecile, this disgusting human being who then gets to go and serve. Now he served 3 years in jail. He'll serve. That is not going to be time served. He'll get an additional 3 to 10 years for killing somebody drunk at 156 miles per hour, more than double the legal limit. Look, everyone in this country is deserving of great criminal defense. Okay. We are innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
His lawyers earned every single penny of this. This dude's 23 years old, Dave. He could walk at 26 years old. He could be a free man with the vast majority of his life and a whole lot of money to go and live a very fun life compared to the life he took. He killed somebody. You don't tell me this was a, quote, mistake. You don't drive 156 in whatever sports car he was driving. I'm really sorry. He said, this is not indicative of the person that I am. Really?
Well,
dude.
it never is. That's right. It never is.
Indicative of the person that you are. Okay.
Yeah.
You are a menace. You are something I can't come up with the words to describe how my stomach turned saying your kids are driving. My daughter's going to be driving soon. And if that was my daughter and I heard this guy could be walking around before he's 30 years old, he could be out a free person.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck keeping me out of prison because I'm going to do some really bad things. I would be losing my mind.
Yeah.
At this. This is.
I didn't hear this. This is news to me. I remember. I don't know if we did this show the day it happened or we had talked later that day. And the first thing was, when's the last time you drove that road? And I'm like, I don't know, last week. Like I was just, you can't physically or mentally rationalize going 75 on that street.
Right.
He got up to 150.
6.
Like it's for that alone. If you just get a ticket, you got to go to jail.
Yeah, right. Yes, I would agree. Yes.
And sit and contemplate what you could have done. On top of that, he did it. The worst thing that could happen did. Person's life is worth 3 years.
I guess 6 total. If you include the 3 years he's been in jail now, 3 to 10.
Come on.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the stipulations are, but if someone's not fired for whatever paperwork mistake, whatever issue there was, I know technicalities happen all the time in this country. And again, I'm not trying to say that our system is perfect or broken, neither or. Just saying it is unfathomable that this guy at 23 years old has an opportunity to just, he'll be walking around. I can't get over the idea that before he turns 30, there's a damn good chance that Henry Ruggs will be out. And who knows, somebody might wind up paying him to play football again. He was a first-round draft pick. I mean, some, USFL, some, European Football League or whatever it might be. This guy might actually be playing football again at some point after what he did. This is not even a slap on the wrist. I can't believe this. He was accused of so many felonies and he pled it all down, because the prosecution was worried about how the blood was obtained. And if they had gone to trial, he could have walked entirely, which I would be like, man, a jury of our peers, people who live here in Las Vegas, I would hope the hell that they threw the book at him if they went to trial.
We're talking to a lot of people every day, not just here on the show, which again, if you guys are here on the show, thank you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell one person, because we're talking about stuff that's more than just sports betting and sports gambling. This is one of those. But when you talk to people, I'm constantly reminded, and I tell my own kids this, let alone all the kids that I coached and everything else. Actions speak louder than words. Okay? If you got to go and you're worried, like, come up with a better case, as in show a picture of the car that he smashed. Show
Or
a
the
picture.
video. There's video of it. You can see what he did. There's video people shot of the car burning in the middle of the road. And Henry Ruggs on the sidelines, holding his head going, oh my God, what did I do?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It means it's
So on a
simple.
technicality, like
He gets
that's
off.
all you're supposed to do as a human being is look at that and go,
You're going away.
here's your
Goodbye.
case.
Yeah.
Here's your case. Okay. That's why when I was contemplating going to law school and learning about the different paths of law, you got to take the money. Everybody's got to earn a living. We all have to do things at some point in our lives that we didn't know or think we had to do. Knowingly taking his case and saying, because of some paperwork errors, you should give them less.
And the prosecution choked. On top of that, they were afraid. They saw the problems and said, we go to court. This trial could be ruled in his favor. The charges could be thrown out because of how the search warrant to obtain his blood in the hospital, how they got it, because his blood alcohol was 0.16. In Nevada, it's 0.08. He was double the legal limit, going 156 on a side street in Vegas, residential, in which he slammed into the back of a vehicle at over 100 miles per hour, killing the woman and dog inside. He walked. They were petrified of that look of getting nothing, so they took something. But I saw that this morning, and I just went, my daughter's first day of fourth grade is today. She's going to fourth grade. She's absolutely ecstatic, so excited. She's 9 years old. Your daughter, two of your daughters are driving right now. Like, these are people, we have people we love and care about who are driving every day in this town, and this is the standard we're setting. This is now the detriment for the next person who does this.
Wait until you get in the car with Maddie and say, let's go learn how to drive.
No thanks.
You think you've had anxiety?
No thanks.
You think you've panicked as a dad?
Yeah,
you
no
think
thanks.
you've had, like, sit in the passenger seat with your teenage daughter in Vegas and say, let's go for a ride. You drive. And knowing what we see, it's tough. Jess couldn't do it. My wife did it one time. She said, I'm not getting in the car with them and teaching them how to drive. Why? She said, I get too uptight.
Right.
And that caused the kid to be uptight.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, there's great services out there that teach kids how to drive, but
he's a millionaire. Henry
The
Ruggs
thought
could
of-
have had anybody driving his vehicle around. It's Vegas. There's all sorts of ways of getting around in limos.
tons of
and
people that can't wait to drive you places here.
all over the place. Ubers and
They
Lyfts
ain't
and
even that
everywhere.
expensive.
Out there with your guys, drinking, driving back to your house in Summerlin, where I live, the neighborhood that I live in, and driving back and deciding to go 156 miles per hour because you picked up some girl that you were with at Topgolf and you're trying to impress her.
Diablo 666 in the chat said the DUI laws are too soft. Are the DUI laws too soft here?
They have to be, because we are the #1 DUI state. It's because of you guys. No offense. It's the tourism. They don't want to have strict DUI laws here in Vegas because of how many tourists get pulled over.
Oh,
So it's not for the locals. It's the local people that, you know, we're the ones that get busted more often, but tourists come here. They want people to have a good time, and they don't want them to be worried about DUIs. So yeah, the laws are too lax here. 100%. But he was facing multiple manslaughter, multiple felonies. Like he wasn't just facing DUI.
Right.
He was facing felony death. He was facing DUI that resulted in a fatality. He was resulting in manslaughter, second-degree manslaughter. He was up for all sorts. He could have gone away for 50 years minimum. But they cut it all down. He pled out. So sorry to start the show off on a bad note like that, but that hit about an hour ago, and I've been sitting on it, and I just can't. It's Raider Day on top of that, so it's like we're breaking the Raiders down. So everything kind of just kind of came and came together.
Needed
all
to
right,
vent that. Mikey Awesome, by the way, is in the chat and did something to his handle.
I did it.
Oh, it's blue.
He's an admin.
Congratulations, Mikey Awesome.
We've ignited three Addison, Sonic, and Mikey Awesome are now official admins inside the chat with chat powers.
How about that?
So if you tick them off,
whoa.
And they're there to police you guys because we can't always look at the chat. And somebody brought it up to us and said, hey, the chat's getting pretty big and it's getting very fast. And you're going to start to attract people during football season who may or may not be in there with the best of intentions.
Oh.
And you guys don't have the ability right now. You guys don't really can police the chat. Find a couple people who can police the chat. So I put it on the Discord channel. I said, hey, who wants to be a admin for the live chat? And if you do, just send me an email and send me your YouTube handle.
Right.
And I'll bless you. And those are the three I picked to go ahead and Sonic, Addison, and Mikey Awesome.
Well, how about that? That is fantastic.
Yeah. So they have the power. We gave them the He-Man power, the sword and Gray Skull and everything else. So
was there a secret handshake? I didn't know about this.
No, there wasn't a secret handshake. No. It was just, I have the power, just go ahead and grab that sword. God, I loved He-Man. That was such a great show. Oh, it was such a good show. You kids look it up. He-Man was so good.
It was so good.
It was so good. It was so homoerotic, but it was so good. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Was it?
Oh my, what do you mean? Was it? Look at the outfit the guy's wearing.
Like, he's just really?
What?
He was a stud.
He was a stud, all right, but he was wearing underwear. Like he wasn't wearing any clothes.
That's what superheroes wore all the time, didn't they?
I guess so. Sure. Right. Yeah.
I mean, Superman wore tights and a cape. Batman, same thing.
Yeah, but at least they actually have skin showing. Like He-Man's got, tall boots, underwear. Like
that's what he wore. He was a He-Man.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Right. Yeah. Sure.
I'm gonna have to go back and. I'm gonna have to do some show research.
Oh yeah,
I never saw
watch that show as an adult, and you'll go wait. What the hell did you force us to watch? What was wait? This is a little bit, So yeah, just it wasn't as innocent for our eyes. It was very innocent. Through an adult's eyes, it's like, what the hell were you doing? So, anyways, the big story: Penn Gaming has swapped out the Barstool brand for ESPN for a cool $1.5 billion. First reaction to this is what?
You know that Vince Lombardi clip when he's on the sideline and he goes, "What the hell's going on out there?"
Yeah.
I'll put my glasses on for this one. What in the hell is going on? ESPN is going to be a sports book now?
We knew this was going to happen.
We did?
Yeah, we just didn't know how. They've been kicking the tires.
So are we going to talk about the sports? Are we going to go on Sports Center with our plays of the day? And then we're going to take the bets too?
Correct.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, 100%.
Where do we go for the non-gambling information now?
You're never going to be able to get away from it.
Really?
There is no more non-gambling information in media in America.
There's sports shows that aren't gambling. There's sports shows that don't focus on the gambling, and that's fine.
ESPN will have advertisements in every single show.
For what?
ESPN Bet.
You know who really spends a lot of money on ESPN now?
DraftKings.
1, FanDuel. 2, Caesars. 3.
Goodbye. Although they might still take their business. They might still take it.
Okay, Mr.
They might still take
Communications guy. my question back to you, do they still take it?
I would 100%. I would.
You're going to take competitors' advertising who do it better than you and have a head start.
Yep, I would 100%. I would do it. Yeah, your brand, you have the brand. Remember ESPN The Zone? Remember ESPN The Zone? Popped up all over the country. ESPN didn't own that. That was a white label, just like this. It's the white label. It's not theirs, but it popped up all over the place. ESPN The Zone was very popular for a long time when there were other sports bars. It was
popular for a short time.
And this will be popular for a short time.
Which I was going to say.
Okay.
Do you guys watching the show remember the ESPN flip phone?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
ESPN the magazine. Remember that?
Well, ESPN the magazine was great. That had a great run. There was value to that.
And there's going to be value to this. Yeah, there'll be value to this, of course.
Like the flip phone?
No, there'll be value to having ESPN the bet. The ESPN bet will have, if the money that's going to be spent, the marketing is going to be pushed into place. I think that they will.
After they just whacked all those people because they ain't got the money. Everybody's cutting a cord.
Well, they knew what they were doing then. I mean, clearly that's what they knew what was coming. Like they knew they were going to do this deal, and that's why they killed everybody. That's why they had to liquidate everyone, because they knew they needed to find the money to be able to give Penn $1.5 billion.
Who gave who the money?
ESPN gave Penn $1.5 billion.
I sent you that yesterday, and you said Penn paid ESPN.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm confusing. Penn paid ESPN $1.5 billion. Yeah, you're right. So that one makes sense. So ESPN didn't know that was coming. So back that off. But no, Penn got rid of Barstool because Barstool's brand was becoming very problematic.
They got rid of Barstool because the book business sucks.
That too, but it was also the regulatory concerns that they had. They'd
on top of the business sucking, they had a problem with getting questioned over content.
Yes, and they did not like what was happening, and they were worried about more and more things, and they were right, because Portnoy was getting more and more frustrated about what he was being told he could and couldn't do. He was being told who to hire, who to fire. He was being told, hey, you can't push this. Hey, you can't do this. Hey, Big Cat, you can't say these things publicly.
Can't say can't lose parlay.
Can't lose parlay. You can't do any of the stuff that you're doing. So now you can't do any of this. So ESPN, I don't know how long this goes. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think there'll be a splash. I think there'll be, for a couple of years, a lot of new people coming in that will want to use ESPN because it's the number one brand. Used to be the number one brand in the world, sports or non-sports. Still an extremely powerful brand. I mean, I saw the numbers. Barstool does about 8 million impressions a week. I think it was 8 million impressions a week. ESPN across all their platforms.
Okay.
8 million a week. I think is what they do. What the Barstool bet. ESPN does 117 million.
Okay.
So it's like a totally different, like the level of exposure we're talking about from a Barstool brand to an ESPN brand is not even not in the same, close to being in the same conversation about how much bigger ESPN is going to be from a reach perspective than to Barstool. But we have to point out this. Fox Bet just kicked out. Okay. We had a network branded app.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Bet didn't fly. Flutter just kicked it out. Said, we're done with it. No more.
Right.
DraftKings stock dropped 10% this morning.
Oh.
The reaction is that DraftKings is going to get hit by this. This is going to hurt DraftKings because DraftKings was the biggest partner with ESPN.
Fair.
Think that's possible? Think that's going to be the market share comes from DraftKings people, that they lose it to ESPN Bet?
I think a little bit of all of them will lose a little bit. DraftKings is tied to everybody, but they're especially tied to ESPN.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just said, though, that they would still take the money. I don't think they would, because it would dilute their own product. If they're in it to book the games or grow the sportsbook part of the business, or just get people in the ecosystem.
But Fox did, though. Fox took bets. Fox took DraftKings money and had FanDuel money, where FanDuel owns Flutter, owns Fox Bet.
And we're closing up Fox Bet forever.
Yeah, but they keep right. But I mean, okay,
it's not a recipe for success.
Yeah, I don't know. I would if I ran. I think being Switzerland is way better, even if you have your own branded app. I think there's plenty of ways of you create.
I agree with you.
You create the most valuable platforms for ESPN Bet. Like you get the prime spot, you get the first break, commercial break, you get everything that you would want.
Do you know how good that ESPN Bet logo would look about right there? Right there.
Yeah, I think they got the gambling side covered. Right, I think they're good on that point.
Do they have the gambling side covered?
Yeah, they think they do.
Really?
So yeah, I mean,
we could put it right there.
Yeah, anybody could put their logo right there. I mean, ESPN Bet or anybody else. I mean,
well, we could put the FanDuel logo right there.
Right, anybody could go there.
The DraftKings logo could go right there.
Right,
MGM, same thing. You hear what I'm saying? There's a lot of names. There's a lot of people that are talking about this.
ESPN is a gigantic brand. Okay, when you have the offerings, the question that I'm going to pose to you is what you said in the beginning. What about the tech? What about Penn? So if Penn National's app do you believe they're going to go through a big upgrade? Because somebody put this question out. They just swapped, right? Barstool went down for 3 days because they had to redo all the platform. They changed over to a different platform.
Yeah.
So did the platform switch go really well and then that triggered this deal? Or did the platform switch go really poorly and they had to figure out a way to make football season go? So we're going to totally flip over and do the deal now and give the money to ESPN.
The platform switch had nothing to do with this deal.
Okay.
This deal was about money, and it was about the best part. The biggest winner in all of this was Portnoy. He got paid all that money to give away half his company. Then he got it all back for zero. So he got it. He got it all back.
It's a big but, though.
What?
The poison pill in this contract is significant. So Portnoy you're right. He got Barstool back for $0.
Zero.
He is banned from taking sports book advertising on Barstool. He is banned from
anybody?
From anybody. He is banned from starting his own sports book. He cannot do his own
for everybody. Right? Everybody wants to get into sportsbook business. They think it's fucking easy. Sorry, Will, it's not fucking easy. And if they really wanted to get in it, they would ask people who might know how to fucking do it. Pardon my language again, Will. Sorry. It pisses me off because I'm talking to people. I met some guys last night that have been booking since they've been like 12. Some of them have served time. Some of them have not. Some of them have been on the run. They're really good at the job. They'll never get an opportunity to do it because they're criminals. They can't do it. They could do it in their sleep and make these companies billions with a B. And they would never consider it because they got Euro traders with fake platforms that they're selling to ESPN to tell them, hey, you guys got the media. We'll do the booking. It's just like The Godfather. They got the newspaper guys. They got the booking guys. There's going to be pick up and drop off guys. We'll advertise in the papers This whole thing is nonsense. But listen, I didn't know about the Portnoy. Would you call it the poison pill?
Yeah, and it's poison. And those are the two. So the first big issue is he cannot take sportsbook advertising. The second big issue is he cannot.
You froze. I'm hanging on your every word. Snap your fingers.
I saw it coming. It was starting to do a little Max Headroom. It was starting to do a little Max Headroom. I was waiting for it. I was like, you started to in my ear. I was like, here comes the freeze. So the first is he can't take sportsbook advertising. The second is he cannot do his own sportsbook. And the third is if he ever sells Barstool Sports in the future, he loses 50% of the sale to Penn National.
Wow. They really want it out, huh?
Well, they want it out, but they put in some really big barriers around.
Well, yeah, he can't come at them now.
He can't do anything.
He can't do anything.
He can't touch
them. They neutered him. Here, you can have Barstool, but you're a gelding now. That's
yes,
it.
you can't
Whack.
do very much. Right. You can take all the beer. And so everyone is saying this, like, get ready for all of Dave's investments, his watch company, his alcohol company, like all of the things that they had,
Right.
the coffee company that Big Cat
Yeah.
started. All that's what you're going to see all everywhere across, not the sports book, because that was their number one up until Barstool Sportsbook became a thing. The number one advertiser on Barstool Sports were the sports books.
We should reach out to him about the proxy service.
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Can't take sportsbook advertising. Wonder if you could take a proxy service advertising. Hey, Dave, question for you.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a pretty significant, it's awesome that Dave gets the brand back. So he doesn't have to go start his own rival company. There's not going to be some different wing of Portnoy Media, which was all being rumored. He was going to go start his own podcast. He was going to become a business guy for CNBC type stuff. That's not happening, which is good because the Barstool brand is Dave Portnoy. So if you lose Dave, you lose the brand. It's all dead. So at least what he built, he gets control over now. They just have to do business a different way. And essentially Penn put up a big fence around their stuff and said, you guys are playing on that side and we're playing on this side. And we're all going to separate and be good about it.
The boys in the chat, thank you, Chef Benny, Daniel G, J. Dow Betts, all mentioning that Portnoy still has a ton of stock in Penn as well.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So it's in his best interest to not bad rap anybody and do what they say. So
he probably made, I don't know what the dividend
sitting on it,
Penn
whatever. He still has the stock. The stock and the stock options, when they give it to you, it kind of makes you behave a certain way until they're vested. And then when you can sell, then you really can take the gloves off. But a lot of times that stock is like a pacifier.
Correct.
More than anything, especially when it has upside potential. So,
and Dave, you're right. What you said first is correct. Dave got paid a ton of money up front for Barstool. So he got their money up front.
Yeah.
So he made a ton of money there. Now he gets the brand back for zero, but he has to, he's got to play ball.
But he's neutered. Yeah.
Yeah, he's neutered, but he can still do all the things he wants to go ahead and do. Go find the next Call Her Daddy podcast brand. Go find, the next, they can do sports betting, and they can do sports betting the way they want to do sports betting. Okay. They can do all sorts of things. Oh, I've had my issues with Portnoy, my issues with Barstool, but I am still I wouldn't call myself a stoolie, but I've been a supporter of the brand for a very, very long time. I've gotten mad at them for things they've done, disagreed with big things they've done, but yeah, I read Barstool regularly. Dave and I are the same age. Dave is from the South Shore. I'm from the North Shore, although he spent a lot of time on the North Shore as well of Boston. I've been reading Barstool Sports since it was a rag at South Station. He was handing out for free. Literally, it was a rag. Yeah, yes, yeah. It was a thing. Had pictures of hot bartenders and sports picks for sports betting picks. That's
Would we change the name of the show to Barstool versus the book?
No.
Okay. We could keep the hats. No. We could keep the hats.
We're not doing Barstool versus the book, but Bostonian, brought to you by Barstool Sports, would be fine. I would be I would be in love with it. But I'm happy for Dave. I'm happy, and the brand is back where it should be. He started it. He built the empire, and it felt wrong. It really, the Mitzi firing, the way that things went down, the way they had to operate, all of the fact they were calling. I just laughed every time a regulatory body called out a Barstool tweet and said something about what Dave said, or said something that, okay, you can't do this. If you're a regulatory sports book, you can't use this language. That's not they are way, what's the word? They're counterculture. That's when they do well. Yeah. When they go against what everybody else is calling safe, and they can push the envelope, that's what made Barstool.
Yeah.
And being under a regulatory watchdog doesn't fit or work for Barstool.
Well, contrary to a lot of people's belief, the legal sports betting market, that are actually books, have to go through a pretty intrusive. I've had a colonoscopy. You know what that is. If you don't, you should go get one. If you haven't had one and you're over 40, they go up there and look around, make sure that all these parts and everything's working. And they go and find out if there's a problem. Yeah. And then They really get up there and poke and prod and do anything. If you do anything wrong, they threaten to take away that license to take bets.
Well, how many times? Yeah, how many times did Massachusetts or Ohio ask Barstool, is David Portnoy involved? And they had to say he has nothing to do with the book at all. Zero. He's not involved in anything we do. It's name only. He's over there. We're over here. So our license, he will never come near it. They had to disassociate themselves with everything he was. That's a problem. That's not good.
That's a problem. And they, I mean, Barstool figured out pretty quick they didn't want to be in the bookmaking business.
Yeah, fair.
Not with the people they were in with. Yeah. There's no money there.
Right.
You're not making that.
Well,
wasn't
made their money. They were given the money. They were trying to make the money for the people who gave them the money. They were trying to justify the investment that Penn gave them. So they had to go and shill for Penn to get people to go in the Barstool Sportsbook to make the money back that Penn Gaming had given to them. There's not a lot of heart in that.
No.
You're not invested in making somebody else the money they already gave you. Like, hey, you guys need to be made whole. We're already whole. We're already good. Like,
we're good.
We signed a deal that said we would do it, but our heart's not really here. Like, we're not hustling. We're not like we used to be. We're not giving away papers at South Station for angry commuters at 6:30 in the morning, with pictures of hot bartenders. This is a different, that grind that made them what they are.
They got away from that. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't fit.
So now, like when I went to see Brother Doug in Columbus, we went to a Barstool Sportsbook and everything was branded with the stool and the pictures and all the stuff. And I mean, it was a ghost town. There was nobody there. That's neither here nor there. But it was obvious that it was a Barstool Sportsbook. I took a picture with Brother Doug in front of it. Actually, I got to pull it up today and find it. Now they go to ESPN branded. Like you're talking about when coaches get fired and it goes from like the players coach, loose disciplinarian, whatever, to or a loose players coach to a hardcore disciplinarian. Meeting times just 15 minutes early. If you're not there, you're late. You're fined for every little thing. Like this is that big of a swing, is it not?
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse. You have no problems with the brand. You have no problems associating, talking, pushing. I mean, every regulator is going to be completely comfortable with it. If you come in and say, hey, I represent ESPN Bet. Oh, okay, let's talk. Like there's none of that like wall being put up. Yeah. Yes, it's very easy to do business as ESPN Bet versus Barstool Sports Bet. So, or Sportsbook. So yes, I concur with that entirely. You are completely going in a 180 as to what you were just dealing with. The other question on it though is, ESPN, Mickey Mouse is a sports book. Like Mickey Mouse is a sport. This is this is a family-oriented company. Just got paid $1.5 billion. We're talking to 9-year-old girls. That's our bread and butter. And now we're in the sports booking business.
And where's Disney World again?
Orlando, Florida.
Where's Disneyland?
LA,
California,
Anaheim. Both
two states
that aren't legal.
Do
you think they know something?
I think nobody knows shit. You know that. I say that.
Could you imagine? I'm sorry, but if we walk into the happiest place on earth and there's a fucking sports book in the middle of Disneyland. Okay, that's gonna be the weirdest. That's gonna be so weird. Like, here's Small World after all, and hey, play your $5 same game parlay right here. Like, what the hell are we doing? Really? That's what we're gonna be like. What the? Like, that's a weird deal right there. Okay, that's strange. If that's how we're gonna roll, that's different. That's really, really different. If with like Goofy's gonna be out there pushing his, the Goofy prop of the day. Like, here we go.
Chef Benny just dropped in a super chat, a blue stripe. Donald Duck and Goofy are going to be writing tickets.
It'd be awesome. You have to be full. I mean, like, would it be funny to have like a Scrooge, have like Scrooge McDuck and like do stuff with him and do like DuckTales and like you could do all sorts of like wacko stuff with Disney and all their characters when it comes to sports betting. It really, I mean, you could do the Star Wars. You could have like the cantina. You have a Star Wars themed sports book.
This all sounds very bad.
Have them all in like Star Wars gear. Have like stormtroopers sitting at the entranceway when they come on in. You could do so many things. Like they own Disney owns Marvel, so you could do the whole Marvel campus that they've built. You could have a whole sports book theme of Spider-Man doing sports book parlays. You know, forget Jamie Foxx. Give me like Chewbacca to doing his favorite prop bet.
This sounds like such a bad idea. Meanwhile, as you're talking, our chat is rolling. The Juice came in and said, boy, that would be amazing to have a sports book at Disneyland when I take my niece there, LMAO.
Right. See?
Rainmaker 512, who walked into Manny's today on a Wednesday because he's off.
Nice.
And he's actually off now for a little while.
Right.
You know, we're working on something for you, Rain, but we'll see you in a month out here. Walked into Manny's and they handed him the block pull for the Steeler game on Friday. He said it's officially football season.
Nice.
He came in and said, this is going to be fantastic. A Disneyland sports book. Use the force parlays. Do we get kiosks in the ride lines while we're waiting?
Oh, that's a good idea right there.
You know, Kevin Whitrock.
Brilliant.
That's a really smart idea. Keep that one in the Discord channel. What's the Discord channel again?
BVBshow.com.
Let's keep that one for the BVB. We'll go to Disney with that one. We'll tell them that.
Have like BB-8s like rolling around and being like trying to hand you parlay cards. Little robots are like here.
But the problem with all of this is what Lou just came in. Rainmaker 512 said he was at a bar in Ohio.
Okay.
And it had a kiosk. And he actually sent me the picture of it.
Okay.
The lines were 50 cents money lines. Yeah. Meaning it was minus 170 plus 120.
That's a Barstool Sportsbook?
This was a white label for something else.
Okay.
I didn't recognize the name, but in Ohio, they're given licenses to have sports books.
Yeah, but this is the one thing. My only pushback on that is ESPN is going to be the most watched book because on the ESPN app, they will no longer have Caesars odds. They will have their own odds,
which are going to be run by a European company.
Right, but people will scrutinize it heavily.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I don't know. I think people.
I think it should matter.
It will matter. I think it will matter. I think people are going to start to talk about it a lot more. I think the good side of this is it's going to educate people on price faster. People who are looking at the ESPN app, like I do every day to track games that I've bet on. There's always a little Caesars number on the bottom. Here's the line at Caesars. Click here, blah, blah, blah. That's going to be ESPN bet. People are going to write about that. They're going to talk about that. If the lines are off or if the price is wrong compared to other books, you will see more people say, wait a minute, my book, why is ESPN at that and this is at that? I think people will, with price discovery, I think having ESPN involved like this will shine a brighter spotlight on price. And if they're off market and giving, 20-cent lines or higher, I think the public might figure it out quicker.
I mean, I don't think so. I don't even think they care about the price.
I think people are starting to come around. I think some people are, just watching the Daily Juice and just watching how I've talked to people over the last 3 years of doing that podcast. There's a much different conversation coming from the audience about price discovery. They'll find different lines I haven't seen. They'll tell me about books that I don't have access to and where they are.
Without a doubt. They do that to me every day. Like for 5 years, I've
coming around. Right. So it's coming around. So I think people are starting to figure that out about you should have multiple outs and you have to shop and you can't just bet at one book.
Right.
You can find big discrepancies and you can, liking different prices.
Is Tyler Wyatt in the chat right now?
I don't know why.
Have you seen him? Okay.
I haven't even
Mikey Awesome said, what's up, Tyler Wyatt? I haven't seen Tyler in the chat, but I think I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I really am not. I can't. I told somebody yesterday, this one really, I wasn't comfortable with the teams taking official betting partners' money. I'm not comfortable with the teams in the leagues having sports books in the joints, in the properties. Like when I go to a game, when I went to Cincinnati and went to that game, and there was a sports book in there, I was just like, this is too much. ESPN was that, perception wise, for me, last place where it was different. It was you could go find it with Doug and Joe and Tyler doing Daily Wager.
Right.
I knew where that was.
Right.
It wasn't, try to watch SportsCenter and stuff now. I mean, they make the anchors pick dingers of the day. It looks a lot like the other stuff in the space. I wanted it kept separate. And this is all, now we're taking the bets. That feels like you've really just said, again, sorry, Will, fuck it. Just go get the money.
Yeah.
Take the money. Like, can you imagine the boardroom? Guys, we're Disney. We have a small world.
I think they're trying to
give
sell
us $1.5 billion. What'd you say? $1.5 billion? Yes, you got to take the bets, though. You got to have a sports book. But what about Mickey and Donald? They're going to give you $1.5 billion. Fuck it, take the bets.
Billion.
Yeah,
$1.5
billion.
And I think,
and they said they got to do it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money
because of where they are in the current economic situation. People aren't going on vacation as much. People aren't, ESPN Plus and Disney Plus haven't done as well as they wanted it to do. Their deal with the UFC has done pretty well, but there's not the windfall that they thought that they were going to get from digital. People haven't cut the cord as fast as they thought. Cable companies are, people are cutting the cable, and they're not going to ESPN Plus. They're cutting, going to go into other things and not watching. Illegal streams of their content is gigantic and a huge problem. So now they get paid. Now, will they? I think this is not the beginning of the end, but I don't believe there'll be a second contract on this. I think ESPN will be out. I think Disney will spin off ESPN now.
That's the word on the street already.
Yeah, I think Disney will. I think they will sell that because they've crossed that everything. Now they can cross it all off. They've got it all. So now they go to Amazon or Google or somebody else and say, "Here, take it. You can have all of it. You can have all of this. You can have the whole broadcasting, the Bristol campus, all of it. We got every angle covered. We got Monday Night Football. We got NBA basketball. We got it all covered. Our whole sports division. We can sell the whole thing off for $50 billion, whatever they want to do. Wow. And they can keep the ESPN brand. But Disney Corp sells the ESPN brand and everything that comes with it.
Smart move.
If that's what they do. But it feels like this is that move, because you're right. It doesn't. There are competing interests here about it's a small world.
I mean, it just doesn't. This one doesn't pass the spell test for me.
It's Matterhorn and Disney princesses and Moana and the windfall. The waterfall now is money, not some island that comes to life. So,
Richard Kalish in the chat. I haven't seen Richard in before, but thank you, sir, for being here. He just said, Disney books, you must be this height to enter. I love this show. I love you guys in this chat. I mean, we're doing the show, but you guys are the show.
Oh, that might be one of the best. That's one of the best things I've heard. That's phenomenal. Shut that down. Damn. Dude, if we had hats. We need to have hats. We need the guy a post of the day. That's the post of the day. That's awesome. You have to be this tall to get in.
Man.
Oh, that's phenomenal. You must be 54 inches to place a bet here, sir. But I'm 52 inches. Yeah, sorry. You're not tall enough to place a bet.
Can't come in. Sorry.
Can't come in. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's phenomenal. So we'll watch it. I mean, there's a lot more to come on that, but that's obviously seismic, huge news in the sports.
How does it affect the content space?
How does it affect the content space? I think ESPN hires more people. I think that they produce more betting content now. They'll push it out harder.
So many people go.
Yeah, but they can bring it back for a lot cheaper.
Right.
I mean, if you got a guy making one guy's making 300K, you get another guy coming in making 100. You save $200,000. Do that 5 times, it's $1 million. So, I mean, you can. Right. I think they'll hire more digital shows. I think there'll be more online shows like ours, like this, being produced. I think they will need to hire some grown-ups to come in and talk about this stuff. I think they got to be careful because I think we've seen that the bar still.
Are they going to get the backlash now, though? Like the natural inclination. There's guys already in the chat talking about, I don't trust that show. I don't trust anything I see. Just in life, you shouldn't just take what anybody says for, 100% gospel. But now you're talking about, like somebody just put in the implication about having fantasy shows and talking about certain props.
Yes.
That the book may need the other side and all this other. That's bad business. People are going to make that judgment, right?
They should 100%. They do. It's the same thing if you work for a sports book and they give you, I say it all the time. Whenever my bets get boosted, I get pissed off. I don't like it. I feel like it's a loser. The second you see a boost, if I'm on the Dodgers money line today and the Dodgers, oh, hey, well, it was minus 125. Now it's even money on the Dodgers. I'm like, oh, cross that off. That's a loss. Even it might win. It just, you get the inclination that that's what will happen. So, how do they do the sign-up bonuses? That's going to be a big question I have. How do they acquire new customers? What's the incentive to go ahead and use it? They're in 16 states. Okay. ESPN Bet's not going to, limp in. They're coming in with a huge database and 16 licenses. And they'll probably get New York now. Barstool was not getting, New York was not really interested. Okay. Penn could not get Barstool licensed in New York. They'll get it licensed now. ESPN Bet will be licensed in New York. So they'll have that going for them. That's a big leg up. That's a big start. So it's not like the ESPN Bet's not coming from scratch.
Correct.
So they're coming in with an opportunity.
Is this true? Daniel G just came in a chat and said Disney branded slots on a mobile casino now. Shaking my head. They're going after the Disney adults too. There's slots. They have mobile. Well,
hold on. Do me a favor. I thought the iCasino was going to be the Hollywood casino brand that Penn runs, not ESPN. So go look. I read that in the article. The article said that the iCasino was being split and the Hollywood casino brand was going to be used, not ESPN.
Well,
but you're right. They are going to market to the iCasino, the Hollywood,
all of them.
Yeah, the Hollywood is going to get
I can tell you this from my personal experience. I worked at the M when it was independent. Penn came in and bought the M.
Right.
The world changed.
For the worse?
A lot of people left.
Okay.
A lot of people left.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Dave Roberts is not a happy camper, Dave. He believes that Seth Lugo's claim that the Dodgers are stealing signs is, well, an excuse for what the Dodgers just did to the pitching staff of the San Diego Padres.
Oh.
They lit them up. Scoring. All 4 games went over. Dodgers essentially, I don't know if they ended this Padres season, but they came pretty damn close to ending the Padres season with that.
Yep.
With what they did to them. Is stealing signs without electronic help a big deal?
When it's blatantly obvious and you're almost rubbing your nose in the person's, you're rubbing their nose in it and stuff,
right?
It's annoying. I don't know if it's what's the word you used?
Egregious? Wrong?
I mean, annoying? It's part of the game.
Is it? I don't think it's. Look, I think
it's not illegal if you're using technology to do it, or you're using illegal means to do it. That's
illegal, right? But if you're just stealing signs,
but if I'm watching the dugout and I know that every time he does this, that he's going to throw a curveball,
right? I think that's part of the game.
That's part of the game.
If you're tipping your pitches.
Now, if I have a camera placed, a hidden camera placed, and I'm shining it in there and I'm rewinding it in the clubhouse going, watch when he does this, what's that pitch? Watch when he does this, what's that pitch? Now I'm cheating to figure it out.
Right.
That's Bush League.
That's illegal. That's against the rules.
Yeah, that's
stealing signs is not against the rules.
No.
How you steal the sign, that makes it against the rules.
How do you steal a sign now? They literally push a button and they talk to them in their hat. They have that thing.
Well, that's pitching. But if you're tipping a pitch or bunt, steal, whatever. I mean, I think if a pitcher is tipping his pitches, I'm under no responsibility to tell you what I'm seeing.
Well, the way the Dodgers are hitting the ball, they feel like they know what pitch is coming.
And that's what Lugo is saying. He's saying, they had to, he believes they were tipping that they were stealing signs, tipping pitches, and they knew what was coming because the Dodgers, they scored 13 runs in that last game. Scored, I think it was 8 or more runs in every game.
I just want to jump in here real quick. Ryan Klaus just said that he is his best friend. Early preliminary power slap for Logan the Tank Greenslaw.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. Makes his debut tonight, 6 p.m. Vegas time versus Recon Rombo. There's no lines up, but Logan is free.
At Circa there is.
Oh, is there slap? Okay. So I'm not a big slap league guy, Ryan. I just wanted to read that because
there's no lines elsewhere, but I'm pretty Circa's the official book of the slap league, right?
Yeah, so they probably have it. Actually, I can look right
because they're the official of slam ball and the slap league.
Oh,
so I'm pretty sure that they'll. They hosted those slap league fights at Circa,
right?
So my guess is that they'll do them again. Like
there's no stealing signs in slap league.
No,
there's no stealing signs. That's for sure. No. I don't know. Like I was coaching. And the other team I was playing once, they figured out my pitch calling pattern.
Oh.
And I called a pitch and he said something, the third base coach. I was in the dugout and he basically told his girl that a changeup was coming. And she hit the ball in the gap in right center field. And I called timeout and I went out to the mound and I said, they know all our signals. I said, so we have to change the way I'm going to call the pitches. Because I was calling them out numbers.
Oh, okay.
And he knew the pattern that he knew at least what pitch it was. He didn't know location, but he knew pitch. And if you know pitch in softball, it's a huge advantage.
Yeah, of course.
So I walked back towards the dugout and I said, good job. You got it. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, I know you know what I'm calling. And I said it loud enough for the whole park to hear because I was pissed off. But I was pissed off not because he was doing it, because I let him figure it out.
Right.
That's the game.
100%. That's baseball. I have no problem with stealing signs.
I saw that guy last year. I said, you remember me? He goes, damn right I do. He goes, I like the Bostonian versus the book. I like
Shut up.
Swear to God. I got him on.
That's amazing.
I got him to follow me and
Right.
listen to Cash Considerations.
Yeah.
And he somehow found this.
Nice.
And he said he's a cop when he's out driving around or sitting on a patrol. He says, I put your show on. He said, you still make me laugh. I said, I can't believe you were calling out city capitals of states. He would say a city name that meant changeup. If he said a state, it meant fastball. I had to figure out his pattern. He would yell Wichita. And I'm like, why is he yelling states? Then he would yell Kansas 75, this and that. Like he would just start saying it. And I was like, this guy's up to something. And I was with another coach who wasn't getting what I was saying. I'm like, he knows something that we're doing. He's not just the geography major right now. I'm telling you something's up.
Right.
When that girl hit that ball in the gap for a triple on a changeup outside, I said, damn it, timeout. And that was it. We had to change everything. So that's the game. Do you have a problem with it? I don't have a problem with it.
None. As long as it's not being done with electronics. I have absolutely no problem with stealing signs. It's part of the game. Time for Ohtani Watch. The Angels finally win a game. They snapped their 7-game losing streak last night, beating the Giants. Ohtani pitches today for the Angels.
Yes.
short price. Minus 130.
I mean, how do you make him higher?
You like? I mean, it's Ohtani.
I know, but they're the Angels. They just lost 7 in a row.
Just saying. Is it the time to jump on that price? Grab the Angels here with Ohtani on the mound?
I think so.
Right? It's not expensive. It's
I'm watching this tonight.
Not a bad time to grab it.
This is why you kept them. This is why you traded for other people. We got a meaningful game in August. You found the way to finally win yesterday.
Right.
You hand him the ball today and say, let's go. Go win us a game. This might be one of those, if he's feeling good, the Giants strike out a lot. They swing and miss a lot. This might be one of those masterpieces like Detroit.
Over K?
Yes.
Ooh.
7.5.
I didn't see the price.
Guys, if you know what the K prop is for Ohtani, put it in the chat.
It should be higher than that, no?
Well, it's either 7.5 or 8.5.
That's high. 7.5 side, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It might be 6.5 with over juice.
Right.
But,
okay.
I would make the number 7.5 just without looking. I don't know. I didn't look, but I mean, we do the content enough, and I used to make the numbers in a book and actually take the bets. I still make the numbers now, but I don't take the bets. Oh, Diablo 666 said the Angels money line is boosted at his book.
See, it's a problem. Not a fan.
Somebody put in the Ohtani prop. Otto, big part of the show, said he coaches his daughter's softball team, and he stares at the other team's coaches for the steal signs. He's trying to constantly see when they're giving the steal sign. Fair. So he can alert his catcher. She's going this pitch.
Fair.
Throw her out. Nothing wrong with that.
None.
There it is. 7.5 over is minus 106 on FanDuel. Thank you, J. Dow Bets. Ryan K also posted 7.5. Would you go over or under?
Over.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be. He has to be elite every time he pitches.
All of that is true every time he pitches. Today, after the 7-game losing streak and how everything's going bad, this is the day you win. Not he needs to win anybody over.
2-0, 3-0.
He takes the ball, he puts him on his back and says, "Go get me 2, boys," because they're only getting 1 today.
Right.
That's it. That's how you. That's an ace. That's the best pitcher in the game.
Yeah.
Plus, you got the Giants lineup.
Yeah. We mentioned it being Raiders Day. It is time for the 32 teams and 31 shows being brought to you by Circa Sports. The biggest pro football contest in Las Vegas is back again for the 5th year with 14 million guaranteed prizes only at Circa Sports. Enter in Vegas. Play from anywhere with 2 ways to play and no rake. Play the Million Pro Football Contest with quarterly payouts and 100% payback. Pick a winner with the Circa Survivor Contest. Select one team each week with no point spread. Get your share of $14 million in prizes. Visit circasports.com for full details. The team we are doing today, 32 teams and 31 shows, is the Las Vegas Raiders. Number is juiced to 6.5 over, minus 120. Last year, they went 6-11. Highly disappointing in the first year for Davante Adams to be in a Raiders uniform, but the quarterback situation was a little bit topsy-turvy. Derek Carr is now gone. He is in New Orleans. Reasons to be excited. Jimmy Garoppolo knows Josh McDaniels' system, and that should mean a bigger offensive year given the weapons that they currently have. Darren Waller is with the Giants, however, but they do still have very good wide receivers led by arguably the best in the game in Davante Adams. But to be concerned, Josh Jacobs could miss the entire season. He may not play. I don't know, man. He's been pretty adamant that he's not playing for $10 million, and the Raiders are not interested in paying him a lot of money. They don't want a long-term contract. They're playing. This is the contract holdout. Saquon did his thing. This is the one. Jacobs is dug in here. So I hope you're right. I hope he is playing. If he does play, the defense needs to improve dramatically for the Raiders if they're going to be even remotely competitive this season, because the schedule is brutal. This is not an easy schedule for anyone.
Are we closer to the 3-14 that we saw in the USA Today thing yesterday, or no?
We can go through it. I mean, you can see if you can come up with an idea of, are we only going to see 3 wins here out of this team, because they open up on the road at Denver and at Buffalo.
Loss.
And then Pittsburgh comes to town in week 3 for the home opener.
This is why everybody keeps texting me.
Why?
I didn't realize it was in September.
Yes.
All my friends keep asking me if I got an in for tickets and stuff.
It's next month.
I don't have no ins for tickets.
It's 6 months away. It's 6 weeks out.
This explains everything. I thought they were coming to say hi to me. They're coming to see the Steelers play.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night football?
Yep.
What are we going to be doing for Sunday night football? That might be really a lot of fun. Holy crap.
See, McAfee's got the up to something season. We got to come up with something like Pat on that. We got to rip that off in some form or fashion, because we do have something cooking for that.
Sunday night football.
Got something
I think the Steelers are going to lose that game. That's a Raider win.
Okay. I think they beat Denver. Even though Denver's been a house of horrors, I think they beat Denver at Denver in week 1. I think they get throttled by the Buffalo Bills on the road in week 2. I think they come back. I don't know. I think they lose to Pittsburgh and they lose to the Chargers on the road. I think it's a 1-3 start.
I have a different way to get to the 1-3. I have them losing all the road games and winning the home game.
Okay. And then Green Bay at home. I'll give them a W with Green Bay at home.
They split the Green Bay New England games.
Yeah, I think they lose.
Win
to the
one,
Patriots.
lose one.
They'll lose to the Patriots. Belichick's coming in with a bazooka in that game. He's got Garoppolo and McDaniels. You want to talk about a guy who's going to be grinding Patriots after what happened here last year with the way the Patriots lost the game at the Raiders last year? You better damn believe the Patriots are coming for a win here this season. That's one of the few games I feel very confident to say the Patriots are going to win, because there's no way they'll lose in back-to-back years the way that game went last year.
I have two.
Let's go at Chicago.
At Chicago, at Detroit, they split.
I would agree. There's 3.
One win out of there, 3.
Home for the Jets and the Giants. Giants first, Jets second.
What a weird schedule. This is home, away, home, away.
Yeah.
They split that. I don't know which one which. They beat one New York and then lose to the other New York. So wait a second. You telling me, look at this.
I told you the home schedule is insane. I've been telling you this. The home schedule for the Raiders is insane.
Hold on. That's another Sunday night football game against the Jets.
Yes.
On the 12th, the week before, or the week, is that the week of the F1?
Yes, that is the week of the F1. Yes. It's F1 is Saturday. They're on Sunday.
Can't be.
It is,
I think it is.
Yeah, that's the week. November.
So we're going to have all
the 11th.
these people from all these other countries in for this. On top of that,
they'll be leaving
2 weeks straight.
They'll be leaving. They'll be flying out on Sunday.
That's
and everyone's
fine,
coming in to watch the game.
2 weeks week prior and the week of, all these people from New York are going to come here?
Try to. Good luck. Not going to be able to.
These people here from New
Yeah,
York?
I mean, the teams are going to be staying out by me. They're going to be out at Red Rock. Like the
they
team
might be in Perrault.
The team's going to be far away.
What in the hell is going on? This is way too many New York people in Las Vegas for a 2-week stretch for me.
Look at the home game schedule.
What in the hell is happening?
Look at the fan bases coming to Vegas. Okay, just look at the schedule. It's incredible. Steelers, Packers, Patriots, Giants, Jets, Chiefs, Vikings, and Broncos, Chargers.
Sorry, Will. Holy shit, this is going to be incredible.
Right?
Those are all traveling. Like
teams.
Those are all like bring full force people
coming to town. They're going to be here. It's going to be, this schedule for the Raiders is unreal for home games in terms of just like selling out the stadium and booking hotel rooms and everything else. I
thought we were going to just be busy in August until we got all these people signed up, and then we're going to just like kind of go to normal. Every week somebody's coming in and we're going to have to go do an appearance or go meet people, which I love to do anyway. But like, holy crap.
Yep. So anyways.
Holy crap.
So you're at 4 wins. I'm at 4 wins at Miami.
No.
Right? Home for Kansas City. Before the bye.
Split these?
Where's
the away team? Kansas City. I'll say they lose at home and win on the road.
What?
I'll say they lose the home game.
Oh,
4.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Sorry. Yeah. Do they beat the Chiefs at home? Gosh, no.
Okay.
No, I can't do that. Tyler says the Jet game is before F1. So I thought the F1. I thought the F1 was on the 11th of November.
No, it's the week
17th.
after.
Okay.
It's the Thursday, Friday, Saturday after that.
Okay, thank you for that. So it's a week after, so it's not the same week. Okay, so it's New York, and then F1. So Giant fans, Jet fans, and then F1 fans. So in 3 straight weeks here in Vegas.
Oh, I just
You're at what?
Text from Tyler too. Thanks, Tyler.
You're at 4.
I'm at 4. Lose the Kansas City game.
Yeah, because I think I'll go back. I'm gonna correct this. I think they start 2-2. They beat the Chargers on the road.
Okay.
So I'm at 5. Bye week, home for Minnesota.
That's the game they win.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, and I think they beat the Chargers as well. I think the Raiders have a chance to sweep the Chargers. They always play them super, super tough. They'll be home dogs too. Thursday night football too.
Oh, the Thursday games. I love the home teams. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have 6 right now.
So do I. At Kansas City on Christmas Day.
That's the game they win.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
gonna
they'll
win
lose the home game and then they'll go there and win on Christmas.
They're going to lose at Arrowhead. I mean, they're going to win at Arrowhead on Christmas. Mahomes is losing a home game oh boy, I don't think so. No, I disagree.
The Juice just came in the chat and said there's no way the Raiders beat the Chiefs at home unless Mahomes is injured that week.
I would agree with you. And I think they win the next 2 games. At Indy and at Denver, they win out.
No, they split those.
8 wins.
It's either 7 or 8.
8 and 9.
What's the season win total? 6.
Season win 6.5. I like the over. Again, for a 3rd straight year, I'm going to bet the over. I'm 1-1 so far betting the over on this.
What would I bet? I think I would bet under.
Under? You think 6 wins? You did 7 or 8, you just said.
That's what it feels like. But man, there's a lot of tough games there.
Yes.
That is not I mean, the people that do their schedule ratings, I love those people because I don't really know how they come up with some of these numbers. Like they just look at last year's record and go, oh, well, if you add up all the records of the teams they're playing, then they have the hardest schedule. Okay, but the teams are different. Like there should be nothing involved with Green Bay in making someone's schedule rating because Aaron Rodgers is not the quarterback anymore.
Right.
So it's a big difference. That's a hard schedule. What's the ceiling? Like if they have a great year, they win 9.
No, I think if they have a great year, if we go to the top,
they can't win 10 in that schedule. Do you think they could win 10 games?
Well, okay. Give them Denver, Pitts. Give them all the home. Give them 7-1 at home, right? Beating
with those games, you think they could go 7-1 at the ceiling?
Here is the most important stretch of this season. At Chicago, at Detroit, home for New York, home for the Jets and the Giants. That 4-game stretch will dictate the entire bet. Because if they run through that and go 4-0, which they could, they go 4-0 there. The top, if they go 1-3, if they split and go 2-4 to start and then go 4-0, and they're 6-4, and they go to Miami and say Tua's not Tua, Tua's hurt, whatever, they win that game. They lose to KC at home. I think they're going to lose both games to Kansas City.
Right.
But right there, that's 7. Vikings, Chargers, 8-9. Indianapolis, Denver, 10-11. I think their ceiling is 10. 10-7 is not impossible. It could happen. It's a great season.
I think the ceiling's 9, and I think the bottom.
Oh gosh, it's 4.
I was going to say it could get as low as 4. I think legitimately 5. So 5, 6 is under. 7, 8, and 9 are all over. I'd have made the number 7. I'd have taken a push. It feels like 7 is right in the sweet spot.
7 and 10.
6.5 with juice over is fine. But
slight juice.
Chat, you guys are all here. Again, thank you for being here and liking the show, watching the show, subscribing to the show. Las Vegas Raiders, season wins, 6.5. Ove or un? I like to say that. That was the keyboard symbol on when you wrote tickets. It just said OV, and the other one said UN. So we used to say, you got Ove or you got un? So I'm asking you guys, Ove or un for Raiders season wins? I think we'll get more Oves. You like Ove?
3 years in a row. Betting it 3 years in a row. 1-1, betting it. Let's go.
What was the number last year? Do you remember?
I think it was 7.5 last year. It was 6 the year before. 7.5 last year.
Oh, so we adjusted it back down 6.5. Huh. First one out of the gate, JC from KC. Under the. It's a pretty good split, though. Under, Ove, ODU, under, Ove, on, over the. Wow.
So split. Okay. So we'll watch that. Time for the Brigade Proxy Service NFL Story of the Day. 702-570-8255. Hey, if you're in town watching the show, you guys need it. We're coming 2:00 today. Dave and I will be down at the D near Circa. If you need it to be signed up, we can take care of you this afternoon. Okay. So we'll be down there. We'll be there. I mean, I may legitimately just hang for a while. I mean, just go down.
I got you a comfy spot. One of them nice booths.
You commandeered one of those for us?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
And they suggested we make a sign that stands up
like everybody else.
BPS.
Well, I'll do that. Then after we sign up at 2:00, I will go to the local print shop. I will get a Brigade Proxy Service print up, and I will do one of those little things, and I will stick it, and I will piss off everyone else in the building who is trying to do the same thing. And they'll be so mad at us, and it will be awesome because they will literally hate me in the back of my head, and I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for it. It's so good.
on the up escalator side,
okay,
the last booth on the right, in the VIP row. Tom, our friend from Vegas Proxy's on the other side, opposite.
He's on the left side. Okay, so we'll be on the right side.
Right side, strong side.
Love it. Starting today. Starting today.
Anytime we want.
Okay, that's where I will be.
I said. The gentleman we're signing up today is staying at the D.
Yes.
So I said, you don't have to walk up the street. We'll come here. You can sign up at the D.
Beautiful.
So we're going to sign him up there.
Beautiful.
But I mentioned to maybe 500 people last night that you could see us at the Circa. We'll be in the booth, hanging out. You can reach us at Brigade Proxy on the Twitter.
Yeah, I'll have that hat on. So if you're looking for I'll wear that hat because it's bright and it pops. So
come find us.
I'll wear that. Ron Rivera is the head coach of the Washington Commanders, and he is having to apologize today because he made the comment.
What is his title?
Head coach.
I thought wasn't Bieniemy?
He's the offensive coordinator.
That's all he is?
Yeah. He left Kansas City because he needs to go and prove it with other people because he's not getting head coaching jobs.
So I thought I saw when Bieniemy left, he was an associate head coach.
Right. Okay. Fine. Fair. But he's running the offense.
Okay. And Ron Rivera is still the head coach.
Yes. Running the defense.
And still ideally probably runs the defense.
Yeah. So Rivera said Tuesday that some of the players were concerned by Bieniemy's coaching style. So he encouraged them to speak directly to the coordinator. Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but 702-570-8255 is the proxy number, right?
Yeah.
That is also comes out to 702-570-TALK.
No.
Okay.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
Sonic, that's man.
That's
just
phenomenal.
Posted that in the chat.
702-570-TALK.
We'll talk to you.
Wow.
That's great. I you just made my day again. Really good. Go ahead. Put my foot back in my mouth. Go ahead. What did he say?
Well, he noted Wednesday that he did not mean to label his players as soft by pointing out their concerns about Bieniemy's coaching style. He said, quote, "It's trying to understand more than anything else. Eric has an open door and the guys came in and talked to him and they're starting to see results. Guys aren't fighting it now. They just wanted to know why." The article was written yesterday. The headlines could have been, "The players understand. The players are getting it," instead of "what they said," Rivera said. Guys are willing to talk, and Eric is very honest and very blunt and very upfront, which is great because we all know where he stands, and that's the important thing. I was just trying to convey that we all have to do things our own way. Neither one of us is doing anything better. I had Buddy Ryan riding me for 2 years as a player in Chicago. I had Mike Ditka riding me for 9. It's the way they did things. Their approach is different than mine. We all have our own ways. As a position coach, I was different. Each step you take is part of the evolution and growth in you as a head coach. I mean, this is not good stuff. This is not what you want to be talking about right now. These are the conversations. If your team is not on the same page, if your coaches aren't on the same page, these are the comments that get made. You're communicating through the press versus communicating to each other.
Whoa. You have to communicate internally to then communicate through the press.
But they're not doing that. That's right. That's
no, you don't know that. What we're seeing is this. They may have already taken care of this. He might have had a closed door meeting and said, "Listen, we're messing this up in here. Okay. I'm going to tell them out there everything's fine. And it's my fault. I'm going to take the heat." Or he actually did this and apologized in a room and said, I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to publicly put this fire out because I said the wrong thing. And I'm going to go tell them. Who knows what went on behind the closed doors? I used to see this all the time. When you're there every day as a beat reporter, like Adam Hill does a tremendous job with the Raiders.
Right.
And he tells us the truth.
Yep.
You know what goes on behind the closed doors when you're there every day. You're one of them. You become earning their trust.
Yeah.
This is a good thing where he has to put this out now. I don't know what the expectations are. How did we not get to the Commanders yet in this thing? They're not one of the bottom 7 teams?
Now, okay, just to clarify where the list came from. The list I'm using is Pro Football Focus's ranking of teams heading into 2023 after the NFL draft. Okay. So it was written basically, I think it was written in late May that it came out. So I just grabbed a list in an order. So like we'll get to the Commanders coming up very soon.
Okay.
25 we're on. Raiders were 25th. We're 7 teams in. We started on Tuesday. This is now Wednesday. So we're 7 teams in. So, or 8 teams in rather. So
your math stinks.
Can't remember when we started. Because August 1st was Tuesday, right? So it would have been 4. No, 3.
I don't
7.
even know what day.
Thank you. 4 and 3. Yes, there we go. 7. I was right. Yes, we're 7 in. This is our 7th team today.
Sometimes I don't have a clue.
That was right.
You did it yesterday. You're like, today's what? Yeah.
I don't know what day it is.
I got up this morning and I looked at Kendall. She was getting ready for school. I said, "What is today?" She goes, looks at me. She's like, "It's Wednesday. Why?" And I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was Friday." She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I was dreaming about something. I thought it was Friday." Because I got this panel. I got to go.
Right.
And I was like, I thought I overslept and we were doing a show early.
Right.
I completely panicked. But
see,
I don't know. I again, a lot of people like to get the preseason information and read messages into the coaches saying stuff. I ignore it all and watch baseball, bro. I can't take it. What do you take from this?
Nothing. We'll move on.
Thank you.
Broadcaster Kevin Brown could cash in from the Orioles suspension. ESPN, there's actually his profile and ESPN announcing assignments are poised to increase in the coming years. And everyone's been talking about Kevin Brown. Could this be the best thing that ever happened to this kid? Could he wind up getting big job offers now to do like national baseball broadcasts because of what the Orioles did? It's possible.
Yes.
It's really possible. It's amazing.
Right?
Awesome.
Like, yes.
It would be awesome if that's the outcome. If the outcome is that the guy gets suspended for something stupid and his career takes off because of it, would be the best thing that could ever happen to the kid. Be unbelievable. It would be so cool.
thought I had my Orioles hat here. I wanted to wear my Orioles hat today when I saw this story. Good for him.
Amen to that. I love it. Very, very cool. So we'll see what happens with Kevin Brown as his career progresses after the team suspended. He's back Friday broadcasting games, by the way. He'll be back. This story is phenomenal. Nick Saban sent a private jet to Pete Rose to pick him up, to bring him to Tuscaloosa to talk to his players about sports gambling.
Wow.
Went ahead and flew him in by a private jet to tell his kids about sports betting and the dangers of sports betting. Could that be like Pete's new gag? Like he's just a guy out there telling everyone, he does, because that's what happened. Remember that happened with Ryan Leaf when Ryan Leaf got busted and Ryan Leaf had all the problems with substance abuse, that he went ahead and did all that. He went on a tour around NFL teams talking about substance abuse and problems you can get into. Could be Pete Rose's new bag is just go ahead and fly it around. By the way, who's Nick Sagan? That would be I don't know who Nick Sagan is. Sorry. Nick Saban. Sorry, just caught that. I was like, wait a minute. What's that? Who's Nick Sagan?
I just was waiting for
you gotta tell me. You see that? You gotta tell me that.
Just let it go. I don't even care.
Nick Sagan.
What is Pete gonna say?
Don't do it. I did it. Don't be me.
Specifically talking about sports gambling?
Yes.
He got a private jet to come. Does he live here?
Yeah.
Or he's no longer. I don't know if he.
I don't know. It doesn't say where it came. It said Fitterman Sports, who is the people who handles all of the signing. If you guys come to Vegas and go to Pete Rose's signings, you'll see Fitterman Sports. That's who has the exclusivity to book Pete Rose to sign. Tweeted, "Thank you, Coach Saban, for sending your personal Alabama jet to Houston and inviting Fitterman Sports and my exclusive client, Pete Rose, to the University of Alabama." He's 82 now.
All right, let's just put this into perspective.
I mean, remember about
These
the Bama
kids on this Alabama football team
do not know who he is.
Not only don't know who he is, their parents don't know who Pete Rose is.
Fair.
Okay?
Yeah.
Nick's doing somebody a favor, whether it's Pete or somebody. Maybe you need to burn some fuel. Go get Pete Rose. Have Pete come in. We'll talk to the kids about the gambling.
Right.
Pete's 82.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've had Pete at the cage next to me while I was doing pitching stuff. Like Pete came and did a clinic at the batting cages a few years ago. Cool. And I watched it, and my daughters, watched it, and I asked the kids that came out of it afterward, what'd you think? And they're like, I didn't even know who that guy was. He was an old guy. He was an old guy coach. I'm like, just so you know, there's a guy that has the most hits in Major League Baseball history. That's old
him.
Guy. And they're like, you serious, bro? Yeah. Yeah. That's his name's Pete Rose. Well, why was he such in a bad mood? I'm like,
because he always is. Because
this is what Pete does. Like he's in his mid-70s. He's tired. You guys didn't pick up the balls fast enough. He probably had to go home and have dinner, and he didn't want to be here that long. Like, I don't know why.
Right.
Can you imagine kids in an Alabama football meeting room going, who is this? What is he telling us? He doesn't even know how to open his app on his phone.
Oh, true. Or his phone, period. He has a flip phone with all those big numbers.
What, right? Like, what are we doing? I mean, again, it's getting so intertwined with our lives. These kids have the scrutiny. We just saw what happened with Iowa and Iowa State. The message has to be driven home. It still may not be followed. I don't want Pete being the guy to deliver the message to the number 3 college football ranked team in the country. It's hollow, in my opinion. What do I know?
Don't think you're wrong, but we'll see we'll see what happens with football. It's a lot of lip service. It's for Saban to cover his butt. hey, Bama baseball had their problems. We're taking the bull by the horns. We're not going to follow suit here. That was them. This is us. We're going to bring in Pete Rose to give the horror stories about what you should and shouldn't do. Can't say I didn't tell the kids. I brought in Charlie Hustle to tell the kids about sports betting.
Nick Saban is so smart. He really is.
Oh, yeah. Just a way of saying, hey, don't come at me. That's your problem, not my problem. Remember basketball? With basketball, with the whole thing, with what happened with, he was
with
like
Alabama.
Hey, yeah, it was like Nick Saban's always like that. He's like, hey, that's basketball.
You did time down there, worked and lived and everything. Of
course.
Do they have extra scrutiny on them after that basketball season last year? Like, does the football team and everything have not just the gambling? Do they have extra eyes and scrutiny? I mean, they're Alabama. People are looking to take them down.
So there's let's do it like a visual here.
Let's do like a visual.
Yeah, put
the dark glasses on for
this is every other sports team in terms of how much interest you can put into every other sports team in Alabama.
Okay.
And then this is football. Okay. That's the
basketball team was the number 1 ranked team in the country.
Yep. It's a thimble. Here you go.
It's a thimble.
It's a thimble.
Was that on your desk? Did you have a thimble on your desk?
No, this is a cover of a Coke bottle.
Oh! I thought you actually had a thimble.
No,
I was like, what are you doing? Sewing over there?
Yeah, this is a Coke bottle, and this is how much interest there is in football. Okay, a coffee mug. There's a very big difference in the amount of liquid you're going to put into either or. That is the difference between Alabama football and everything else. Baseball, gymnastics, baseball's been very good.
Number 5 ranked team in the country. Softball, big.
Gymnastics has been very good. College
swimming,
basketball been very
diving?
good. Diving. Auburn's better at swimming and diving than Alabama is, but yes, roll it all up, and it's still not even 15% of football.
Are they covering like Pete coming back to talk to the kids? Is there somebody going to be at the airport? Like,
it happened today.
Welcoming him in.
He's there now.
He's there now.
Yeah.
This is probably a big deal. No, they took the plane. Nick's personal plane.
It's a university's plane. Nick probably just tells where to go with it, but I doubt.
Hey, go pick up Rose. Pete Rose. Yeah, he's down in Florida now. Go get him and bring him back to
yes. Houston and Tuscaloosa is probably a 2-hour flight, hour and a half flight. Nothing. Go get him. Pick it up. Nothing. Easy.
The Bama baseball team had a lot of interest in them this past season. Thank you, Whitrock, for pointing that out. What? Big gambling scandal broke up the whole thing.
There are people in Alabama that do not even know that they play baseball in Tuscaloosa. Like, this is the level. There are so many people who are Bama football fans who never went to the school, who do not talk about anything else but Alabama football.
Oh, those people.
All they do, all they talk about, all they care about.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Basketball and baseball is what they do until the spring game. That's what it's okay. That's all it is. It's just a way of getting us to the spring game. Then the spring game happens, and after the spring game, now it's a countdown to kickoff.
Now we go to the beach and hang out a little bit until the kids come back for the camp.
And then July happens, and the kids are back, and now it's a countdown to kickoff. Who are we playing week 1? When's Texas coming in? Start talking trash. You're going on message boards. You go on the Longhorn message boards. You start talking all your trash, rip it on. You guys are coming in here. We're gonna, rip you a new one. You're not gonna be able to deal with what we're gonna do. And blah, blah, blah. That's Alabama
football season.
Yes, it never isn't football season there. It always is football season. It's just a level of, are we at full throttle, or are we at like 2 or 3 on the burner? But it's all the burner is always lit. It's always burning gas. Football season's always cooking. It's just a matter of what intensity are we cooking at in Tuscaloosa, in Birmingham, Huntsville, Montgomery, in the state. So that's how Nate Oates kept his job, in case you're curious. You're wondering, how did Brandon Miller brought a gun that got used to kill somebody? How did that kid stay on the team and played?
It wasn't football season.
It wasn't football season. And it wasn't football. Even in football, they might let him do it too. I mean, it's just like, what's that? Yeah, we don't worry about that.
Yeah. When's the spring game?
Yeah, exactly. Keep going. is time for Bet It or Book It time. This number has moved a little bit, but I was going to bet the over in this game because the Dodgers have been so consistent. We pushed it last night. And if you watched how we got it,
9.
We were lucky there. We pushed 9. So I got a fortuitous bounce there on that, but we got the Braves game way right. Good job.
You just squeeze in a fortuitous an hour and 35 minutes into the show. Very nice work. Fortuitous.
So we able to grab a hold of that.
Yes.
You had the over 2.5 home runs, which tripled, right? You went 3 times over.
They
that,
hit
right?
6 home runs in the Pirates and Braves game. That was good. I actually got a text from one of the Bet Rivers guys that said, I must give you complete props for that because it was a fun bet that I didn't even know existed on the app. And he played it. And he said, how did you know they were going to hit 6? I said,
he didn't.
I didn't know they were going to hit 6. Yeah. But I know they were going to hit hopefully more than 2.5. So congratulations. Acuna hits the first pitch of the game over the fence.
Out. Right. We got off to a good start.
And then in the bottom of the first, a Pirate hit a home run.
Yeah.
So we had 2 home runs in the first inning.
Right.
If we didn't win that one, there was going to be a real good rant today. That would have been a bad beat.
So we're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning right now. Marlins and the Reds.
Yes.
I'm on over 10. I'm guaranteed to have 9.
Yeah.
I might lose. It might be 5-4 though.
Well, you just need to go to extras now.
Correct. If it gets to extras,
stay 4-4. Good.
Yeah. So it's 4-4 in the 9th. We'll probably get there on the over. It's 4-2 Rockies over the Brewers at the moment. That game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Betting or booking Dodgers money line against Arizona.
What the hell? Merrill Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What am I missing? I mean, I know B. Miller, but like it should be minus 150. No,
it's up to 135 now.
It's down to 128.
Wow. I got it 124 last night.
I got 128, 130, 134, 130, 130, 129. Dodgers again.
Mm-hmm.
Slugfest. Over.
Probably. Yeah. I would but I got nervous by it because at some point the Dodgers are gonna cool off. I mean, last night was fortuitous. We should not have gotten that. That was lucky.
Just used fortuitous twice in 2 minutes. Who the Dodgers play next? They play the Rockies at home.
Right.
Whew, they're starting to get rolling like really.
Yes, they are. Mm-hmm.
Wow. They're going to be minus 300 against the Rockies. Mm-hmm. What would you make the line? Kershaw against Block.
180.
At home.
180.
What is it?
180.
See, this is why you will be in charge of the media portion of the BBB book. You will not be near the numbers. We will ask you what you think, and then we will know which way to shade it.
You think 250, 260?
It's minus 300 minimum. Damn. Did you not hear what I said? They're at least $3 favorites. Who in the hell is going to bet the Dodgers or the Rockies with Kershaw pitching if they sweep the Diamondbacks?
Oh, that's fair.
And all the games go over.
Right.
They got the Rockies limping in. It's got to be at least $3. I would argue it could be $3.20. No, you skip $3.10. Used to be a big argument in the book. You go from 300 to 320. You don't use 310 because the take back is odd. It's an odd number.
Okay.
So we used to have a guy that said, just move it every 10 cents. You can't. I just got a flashback. I'm going to call that guy after the show. See how he's doing. I think he's still in the risk room. Bet it.
Orioles, Astros over 9.
Where'd you come up with this one?
I like, if you look at Javier and Flaherty.
Yep.
Flaherty was very good in his first start. I think
for Baltimore.
He'll have a rockier start for Baltimore today. Astros have been crushing the baseball lately.
They have been hitting, huh? Mm-hmm. How'd they come back and win that game yesterday?
This offense is alive.
Right? They get a grand slam late, I think. They were down 6-3 or something. They won 7-6, I think it was.
Yep. Went over. Yep.
Over to. I think over to. Again, are we dogs at home again? Baltimore? No. Okay. Wow. Huge steam on Baltimore. Minus 145.
Yeah, Javier's not been very good on the road.
Over to.
So good.
Book, bet it.
For you guys who are on Sports Grid, thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. For you on live on YouTube and on Twitter, time for favorite thing about today. You get it as part of bonus time. All righty. Favorite thing about today is what?
Well, obviously the show, but in addition to the show, Bet Bash is here. We discussed it at the beginning and the top of the show. I was walking around in the San Francisco Giants get up yesterday. I had the hat on and the City Connect top.
Okay.
I can't begin to tell you how many people just came up to me and said, "Hey, Consig," or "Hey, Dave, I want to introduce myself." Da 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 da. It was awesome. I met a guy from Missouri yesterday.
Nice.
Met a guy from Alabama yesterday.
Where? Do you know where?
I didn't ask the town.
Okay.
But I forget. I apologize.
Sure.
New Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
Of course.
There's a lot of people from back east out here for this Bet Bash. A lot of people. Florida, bunch of different states. I saw a couple of our Vegas friends. Patrick was there. Patrick Everson. Rob Mish was there. Marcus Donito was there. It was a lot of fun. Everyone that I talked to asked about my family. They asked about this show. Had nothing to do with what did you like tonight?
Yeah.
What do you have? Do you have action? Like one person asked me, "You got any action tonight?" I said, "I don't even know who's playing."
Oh, weird question to you. No, it's not.
Happens every day.
I know, but Bet Bash isn't meant for that. Bet Bash is not meant for that. It's not meant for.
Well, it's
daily
just a question that people ask that they don't know. Like it's hard sometimes for people to come up to people.
Right.
So I'm leaving to go home after eating with the Wager Wire boys, the doctor and Travis. And
Are they in town? How long
they're staying until Saturday?
Okay, good. So I'll say
there's no pressing time to see them, but we will sit down.
With them. Cool.
But I'm leaving, and this guy goes, "Hey, Consig," and I just turn, and I go, "Hey, two guys, one's 6'5", and the other one's probably 6'2".
Okay,
6 foot, and they're in good shape. They're working out. They're good shape." And I was just like, "Hey guys, what's up?" I'm looking up. "Hey man, follow you on Twitter. We're big fans." I'm like, "Thanks." We start talking. Two guys from New Jersey. And it turns out Joey Tunes is working with them coming here as well. Joey Tunes and
Joey Sachs are different people, right?
Different people.
Okay.
Different people. But Joey Tunes is one of the guys that's been in the space that I'll tell you, like, just straight up, we've never met face to face, but we've talked a lot about a lot of things. We got to have him on the show, 100%. He's a real one, if you know what that means.
Yeah.
Kids like to say that all the time. He's a real one. She's a real one. Joey Tunes is a real one. Anyhow, we talked about kids hockey. We talked about 5 people came up to me, 5, and said they're going to be girl dads or they just had a daughter. And said, what you guys do, meaning me and you, there's a lot of people that watch the show that we don't know about. There's a lot of people that watch the clips that we don't know about. There's even more people I had no idea that listen to the show.
I've told you.
You are right. You are right. There are more people probably listening to the show than watch the show. I had no idea. But they said thank you to both you and me for just keep doing the show. Like the one guy was like, how do we do more for, like, can we be a part of this? And that's how that whole conversation started that you and I had this morning. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what we're doing yet for football specifically. It would be nice to know. And if anyone is out there listening or watching the show and wants to help us do that, just reach out and tell us at Boston versus the book on the Twitter DM at Sports Talk Matt. Mine aren't open, but if I follow you, you can do tweet at me and I'll follow you back or send you a DM. Anyhow, it was awesome. They're here all week. This will be a good precursor to us signing people up for the proxy service.
Yeah.
Get your game on. Get ready. There's a lot of people that want to meet you because right now you're just that annoying guy from Boston.
I don't care.
And I know that's the best part. I said, why is he the annoying guy? Why can't he just be the guy that's from Boston that lives here? And they're like, well, because some of the shit he says, I'm like, just thank you for watching the show.
Yes, I don't care. It's the
best.
There was a line that my daughter showed me that Taylor Swift once said about essentially along the lines of the moment you realize that people that don't know you or don't care for you, that their opinions mean nothing, the happiest you'll be.
Oh,
and I adopted that. I adopted that a long time ago. That do you know me? No. You ever talk to me? No. I don't care what you think about me then.
Don't matter.
It don't matter.
Don't matter.
You're judging me off of my personality or what I've said in media or my Twitter account or whatever it might be. That's fine. You can do whatever you want and judge that and say, oh, you're a prick and you're this and you're that. That's fine. But you don't know who I really am. And if you do, and you have a real issue with me, then let's talk about it. Cause I would like to address that. And I would like to bury that hatchet. And if I've wronged anybody, I would love to apologize for any wrongdoing I have done, because I never like to think that I've done something wrong to somebody, or if I'm responsible for pain or, issues. Yes, I would. Let's talk. I want to know. But if you don't know me and all you do is talk to you about me, this sounds arrogant and cocky, but it's the world we live in. I win. You don't understand this. As long as you're watching, as long as you're, consuming what we're doing, I'm good with it. Whatever you got to say, whatever opinion you need to say about me, then it's been that way for 20 years. And then people get to know me and they're like, I thought you were an asshole, but you're not that bad of a guy. And I'm like, I tried to tell people this all the time. Like, it's the funniest thing in the world. Like, they actually are like stunned. I'm like, wow. So you mean like we actually like talked and you got to know me a little bit and you actually like figured out who I was? It's amazing how that happens when you don't judge or jump to some conclusion because I ripped on your football team one time.
It's a good lesson for the kids, right?
Mm.
Like, and everything we do, I just think about being a good example and trying to teach the kids lessons for life that are going to make them better, not worse. It's less talk, more listen. Don't judge anybody until you get to know them.
Yeah. But look, what we do is we put ourselves out there. We are public personalities.
More so now than ever.
So you can do and say whatever you need to, because that's the game I signed up for. So I am completely comfortable. Right. I make opinions. I say things about people I don't know all the time on this show. Okay. I've never met Aaron Rodgers. I can talk about Hard Knocks looks boring as fuck. And like, I watched 10 minutes of it. Like, this show is going to suck. It's, that's my opinion. Someone worked on that. Someone might take offense to that because I'm making a judgment based on the content I'm consuming. So as long as you're consuming the content that we're doing, my job is to make you have a reaction. My job is to make you have an opinion, and it's totally okay. It's fine. When you get personal, I draw the line. You start talking about my daughter or my family or my ability to be a father. Like, okay, now we're getting into a world that I'm not comfortable with. But if you just want to say I'm an annoying Boston fan, sure, I'll own that. I'll wear that. It doesn't hurt me any. I'm good.
You like it?
Sure, I'm good because you know me. I don't know you. Like, that's the thing. Like, you are watching this show. That's awesome. I love that you're watching this show. I thank you for being a part of it. I mean, I do for every damn day, but it's not like, if you and I had dinner and you came away with it and you're like, that guy's an annoying fuck. Okay. Now I'm like, that's on me. Now I'm behaving. Now I'm like, what did I do? Like, now I want to rectify that. And I'd want to apologize for my behavior, or if I was inappropriate or I made you feel uncomfortable, or, if my interpersonal relationship with you is problematic, that's on me to make sure that it's okay.
Right.
But if you're mad because of what I say into this thing every day, I'm good, man. We're all good. Like, you can say whatever you want, whatever. I open myself up, bring it, like bull in a matador. Let's go. Like,
there's a lot of ego in town this week.
Of course. And the reason why people with ego don't like me is I don't care about them. And they want everyone to care about them. And I don't need to be friends with you. And I don't need to hang out with you. And I don't need to be seen with you. I don't need to know your resume. I don't care what you bet. I don't care how much money you bet. I don't care how much money you make. It doesn't matter. And it bothers them that I seriously don't care. It pisses them off that they want the attention like a girl at a City Hawkins dance. They want the attention. They want someone to walk over. They want me to say, "Oh, your shoes are really nice." I don't give a shit. I don't care. And
it's like I told Sydney, nobody's looking at your shoes anyway.
Yes. It's this whole idea of I hit 65% last year. I've got 5,000 subscribers. I've got people who pay me for my picks all the time. Don't you know? I got a big dick. Don't you know? I don't care.
The package.
I don't care any of it. It doesn't matter. It's such a funny thing. And they just go, that guy's an asshole. Okay, I'm an asshole because I don't care to play your game. I don't play the politics. You are so good. The reason why you and I do really well together is because you are amazing. As good of a people person I have ever seen. You can talk to anyone, hang with anyone. You make everyone you speak to talk like they're your best friend for 100 years.
It's amazing.
It's great. It's a gift that you were given. It's unbelievable. I am the exact opposite. I am the exact opposite on all of it. I do not have it in me to small talk about bullshit that doesn't really matter. And you've
gotten a lot better about it, though. You've gotten better.
Yes, 100%. But you do this amazing thing where, like, someone said shit about you. Like, it. And you go right at it.
How you doing?
You go right for
How you doing? I'll look them right in the eye. I take the glasses off. I'll make sure my hat, it ain't cover my eyes. Say, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah. When there's friction, you run towards it.
Come on, baby.
You want that person to squeal, to squirm.
I just want them to know that I know. That's all I want.
Right. I don't ever need it. Like I just I'm just like whatever. Like, I don't. If you want to come and talk about it, fine. I don't need it. I know what you said. I know who you are. I know what you've done. I'm good with it. You want to make it a problem? Okay, let's have a conversation. We'll make it a problem. Otherwise, I'm not going to be a heat-seeking missile and go after it. You see it, and it's like, you're locked onto it. Like, it's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, he's going right for it. Like two steps in.
I'm trying to pull the pin of the thing and not diffuse the grenade. I just come in and making sure, because if you want me to pull the pin, I'll pull the fucking pin.
And then
nobody wants that.
Right.
So I'm going to come over and I'm going to say hi and I'm going to see how you're doing. I'm going to ask about your family. I'm going to talk to you. And if there's a problem, then we can air it out. Otherwise, the air is cleared. I've taken that grenade and disposed of it without going off.
Which is amazing.
People that come to me and say like the stuff about the annoying Boston guy or this or that, I laugh. Because then I'm like, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, right. I'll be here. Hi, let's go. Thanks for watching the show.
We'll be down at the D at 2:00. If anybody wants to come, I'll buy you lunch.
Come on in. And we can. I've always told people this. You ever want to talk to me? You ever got something you want to say? Come, let's talk. I am open for business to talk about anything. You want to motherfuck me for an hour? Come on. I'll listen to it all. I'm going to push back and tell you I think you're wrong on certain things. But if you want to air out grievances, you got a problem with something I did, talk to me. Because there might be something you don't know. There might be something going on that you haven't actually figured out before.
Yes.
That if I give you a bit of information, all of a sudden your opinion might change dramatically about what you think actually happened. So I may have that in my possession. I don't share everything with everybody.
No.
I don't tell. And there's people who are mad at me about things that if I shared certain bits and pieces of information, they might go, oh, I don't go search them out to tell them that. I don't need to. You're curious. You know where to find me. I'm a pretty easy person to find in this town. Just tell me you want to talk or call me or whatever. DM me and we'll set up a call. So I love this week. This week is phenomenal because I just walk in and I go, whatever. I don't need to be like last night. I'm sure that was awesome at Bet Bash that open, but I was like, man, Dave, you're in your prime. Like that was awesome. We send you into that environment. That is all you to go into that environment.
Yep.
I'm perfectly cool because my favorite thing about today is what I did last night. Madeline had her first day of fourth grade today. So she's officially a fourth grader. So I was very happy to see her off to school this morning and to see how excited she was to get to go to school. And I'll be psyched to hear it later on today how it went. But last night we did a say goodbye to Summer, her and I. One, the Paradox Museum here in Vegas is unbelievable. It is absolutely. Have you ever done it?
No, the kids have.
I mean, wow. You want to talk about pictures
It's
and crazy. And
yeah.
oh my God, is it fun? It is super. It's the most unique thing in Vegas right now for families to do.
Where's it at?
That's the problem. Because we weren't going to go to it because the traffic on the strip was last night I almost got out of my car and just started walking. I was so mad. It was so bad.
So bad.
So I said, forget it. We're not doing it. I was trying because it's located next to the Marshalls on the strip. You know, I'm talking about the Target and the Marshalls on the right-hand side by the chocolate, by the M&M, not the M&M, yeah.
No,
M&M,
it's down between Trop and Flamingo.
Yeah, it's in the hell of everything. It was one lane. Think of this. It's 4:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. The strip going towards the Sahara was one lane. One lane. The bottlenecking was ungodly. So I tried to went around and I finally was about to get in. I go, Madeline, I go, I'm sorry. I go, we can't do this. We have dinner at Sahara at 7. We're not going to be able to do this. So somehow I got a place where my GPS said, here, there's a way you can do this.
Right.
And so we did it. And it was perfect because we park at the Park MGM and you can walk right across. So we ended up getting to go to it and did it. And it was super cool. And if you at Sports Talk Matt on Instagram, you can see the pictures. I put a couple on Twitter as well, but there's a full litany of pictures. It is so fun. But then we went to dinner at Sahara, sat down, and she and I had like a whole life lesson, whole life conversation about what fourth grade wants to be and what her goals are for fourth grade and what she wants to accomplish and how she wants to go through this year. And we met her teachers at the open house.
Yep.
And she has 2 teachers for the first time now because they're going to switch rooms for the first time to get them ready for middle school, essentially, when they'll have a full schedule of walking around.
Right.
But her math and science teacher is from England. Her husband works at Shadow Creek, and she don't play.
Good.
I think I was like, I'm in love with you. I was like, this is great because she said some very quick things to Maddie that kind of got her attention about certain things. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, there's going to be consequences. There's going to be issues, blah, blah, blah. And like Maddie has always had a teacher that's loved her. Like she's always had like mom type teachers that have coddled her. This woman's going to push the holy hell out of her. And I had to like sit her down and explain what that's going to be like because I could see it in her eyes. She was like, uh-oh, like this is going to be really different.
Right.
She said to me, she goes, I'm scared. I'm nervous about what Miss Zunica is going to be like.
Yeah.
And I was like, good. She's not playing around, Maddie. Like she's going to make you do work. You're going to have to get to work this year. This is not playtime anymore. Like it's not social hour. And she went through some concerns and issues, but it was really cool. It was exciting to kind of like, watch that iteration in her brain. She got the gist of like, okay, time to work. So yeah, good stuff there. We'll go out at 2:00. We'll see some people downtown for Bet Bash guys. We'll see you as well. Thank you for being here, everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Always appreciate it. Dave, Matt, back tomorrow for BVB.